This is Nalabuja. This is my land, my mother's land, which was, is and always will be Aboriginal land. 40,000 years my people have been walking in this space. But we all have a responsibility. All humans have a responsibility of being custodians of Mother Earth while we are here. I, as an Aboriginal Australian and as the first Australian, want to especially welcome refugees to this country.
Kaya wanju nidi wajak nunga buja. Kaya wanju nidi wajak nunga buja.
Kaya wanju nidi wajak nunga buja. Kaya wanju nidi wajak nunga buja. Kaya wanju nidi wajak nunga buja. So I trust your deliberation goes well and everything flows smoothly. So the Reconciliation Action Plan that has been worked on quite a bit by the Aboriginal Engagement Group, hope it flows through Council today and gets approved.
I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting on the lands of the Whadjuk Noongar people in the spirit of reconciliation as we move towards our very first Reconciliation Action Plan in the town, that our Aboriginal Engagement Strategy Group has been so instrumental in helping us form. In particular, I'd like to introduce you to Professor Simon Forrest. As with Ronnie Forrest, a wonderful support in this town.
My name's Simon Forrest Burungu and I'm a Whadjuk Baladong Noongar with kin connections to Yamaji and Wongai peoples. I've worked on Reconciliation Action Plan, as has Ronnie, with various organisations. It's about really committing to reconciliation in your sphere of influence, in this case the town of Victoria Park. And a real good way of showing reconciliation and getting to understand a Noongar perspective is learning language. And a simple one which you might all know, kaya meaning hello.
When I go to schools and I hear a little Wodjila kid come running up to the gate and saying, "Kaya, Mrs. Forrest," it's just so empowering for me. And I just think it's just wonderful. We're making so many inroads. It's just brilliant.
Language was never lost. Our language was taken away. People like Ronnie's mother and my mother and our grandparents taken to missions and things like that, and language is flogged out of them and taught to speak English and not to speak their own language. Where anybody is at today is because of what's happened in the past. And some, in terms of our colonial history, have been, a bit unpleasant, but it's about acknowledging those things. If we're going to move forward together in say, the spirit of reconciliation and acknowledging our shared history, we need to come experience it and understand it.
That's one of the things that we are hoping that we could be doing as part of the UnRAP with the town, is for the wider community to know our history and giving back the proper names that we know. So here, look, in commemoration of Yagan, tragically killed July 1833, erected by the Yagan Committee. He was a warrior of our people, like he was always fighting against settlers, doing wrong by our people.
When you tell me about those things, I think about the sense of reconciliation in terms of how far we've come. This was known as a causeway for Aboriginal people for thousands and thousands of years, and there was a huge connection to the river, the Derbarl Yerrigan, and Vic Park being a really important place in terms of the route that people took. It's a real connecting place, and it's shown in Vic Park's strong diversity, I think.
And that's one of the things why we really wanted to live in Vic Park. Our history is embedded in the country. We feel that connection as Noongar people.
We like to do some environmentally friendly work in terms of picking up the rubbish and making sure that this place is as pristine as possible, because that's what our people did for thousands of generations. As soon as RAPs came out, we were on them, and we thought they were a great idea, because it's about holding people accountable and making sure that reconciliation is at the forefront of everything. It's really important to us to build that community around us and build meaningful and respectful relationships, and we do have that with a lot of people in the town of Vic Park. We did little events here and there, but I think having some really awesome supporters of our group as well that are high profile has been, the Fred Cheneys and Ben Whites of the world, and that's been a really integral part, having the Mayor involved, Anthony the CEO.
You go, Ben.
And how's it all going anyway, Anthony?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Yeah,
Very
good.
Yeah, it's been a busy day as usual. You know what it's like.
Yes. I hear that you're about to launch your RAP, the Reconciliation Action Plan.
Yeah, it's the first one we've ever done, actually. It's taken a few years and we've probably learned a fair bit from it, a few dead ends we've gone down.
First one is always the toughest because you're starting from scratch, you're trying to create something of significance, but you'll find as the years go by and you move to a second or third RAP, they'll get easier and in fact probably more focused.
We did a lot of work building a new strategic community plan, and it talks about us being a thriving and connected community. And obviously our Indigenous population are really important to us. We want to make sure that we're sincere about the things we put in place and the relationships we build, and restructured the entire organisation to make sure these sorts of things happen. So we're hopeful for a really good outcome.
The Aboriginal cultural experience is clearly something that needs to be relevant for government. So if you want to provide your services well to all citizens, then this is an important part of it.
So we will move on to the RAP process. There are some really detailed comments I would ask the group to consider and provide feedback for us tonight in terms of going forward with the RAP process, because the RAP is a living document.
No, there's nothing that I saw that I thought.
I thought most of it was all stuff that we could add value to the RAP in the second year.
The nature of reconciliation is that it will mean different things to different people. That's why having your engagement group, having community feedback is always so important, because it needs to come from your local community, in this case Victoria Park and the town of Victoria Park.
The Aboriginal Engagement Strategy Group will come together to really make sure there's a key focus on implementation of the actions in that plan. And that rapport with the councils, understanding what their direction is and making sure that they understand that they're authentic and really sincere about trying to do something in this space is pretty important. And I think they're on a big education journey at this point.
There you go, Murray.
Congratulations. It's been a long time coming. I've lived here 30 years and it's just so good to see this come to fruition. It's a document, but there's a lot more to it. It says something about people's intent, people's interest, people's commitment.
Our friendship and relationship's all about that mutual respect. So you take that forward into an organisation, call it something different, but it's the same sort of values.
Welcome everybody. I declare the meeting open. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Noongar people, and pay my respect to the elders both past, present and emerging. I'd also like to welcome members of the Aboriginal Engagement Group who've come along tonight. Appreciate you being here and the work that you've done in developing that plan. So welcome. Thank you for coming along tonight. When I became mayor, I was really keen to have Aboriginal involvement in our community. So I was really pleased this has come about. But there's two people that I'd really like to acknowledge, Kelsey Forrest and Dylan Collard. And with their help and Annette, they did a fantastic and absolutely terrific job. So, recommend the Council adopt the Reflect Reconciliation Action Plan, page 169 of your agenda. Have a mover, please. Deputy Mayor Potter, do I have a seconder? Councillor Ife. Up to you, Councillor Potter.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The Reconciliation Action Plan is an important tool for reconciliation in Australia. By developing our RAP, we join with over 1,000 other corporate, government and civil organisations. The RAP is a strategic document that sits with our business plan to assist the town to turn our good intentions into positive actions. It is my hope that the relationships that have been built and will be built between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and our organisation, as well as others in our community, will be positive, strong, far-reaching and long-lasting.
I'm so impressed with how far we've come as a nation in our ability to acknowledge the errors of the past and our willingness to continue to grow. There is still, however, work to be done, and we cannot just assume that a national apology 10 years ago is all we need, and acknowledge not only history but the importance of building relationships with all members of the Aboriginal community.
The town's RAP is the beginning of this acknowledgement at a local level. Nankardaji, Nijanunga, Morborja. We're Kora Kora, we're Yeyi, we're Mila. I acknowledge this is Noongar family, people's country, from long time ago, to now, to the future. And today is the beginning of that vision.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. All right then, I'll put that. All those in favour? Okay, well done. Thank you everybody for their contribution.
Come on, Muzz, you've got to do a group hug.
It was so heartwarming to know that people love our culture just as much as we do.
I feel just so humbled. I think it was genuine.
Bujako.